All right, weekly podcast number. I don't even know what number it is. I think we're
33?
up. 30. I think we're pushing 30. Yeah, 33.
It's so exciting.
I love that. Love that guess. This is the Vital Wire. All right, middle of March. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite times of the year. Racing season's upon us.
I was just going to say,
No.
Why would that be?
No, it's just been, I love the transition of the season. I love what's the transition that's happening in the office. Mm-hmm. I love just everything about this year. I guess it'll be, yesterday.
Right.
Yesterday, the clock's changed.
Dum, dum, dum.
So we get more light, but really just spring break.
Yes.
A lot of schools going on spring break right now.
Mm-hmm.
Super excited for that because we take one with the major school district.
Yep.
You know what was great? Here's what I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Last year,
yes,
almost every school and school district in our area that we serve all had the same spring break.
Yes.
This year, it's not even close.
Well, 3 of the big districts have the spring break, but then the rest of them are all over the place.
Right.
So it's the rest of them's fault, honestly.
So now that we're here in Cottleville, taking it with Howell, we'll be open this week, and then next week we will be off on our spring break, giving our team and ourselves a little bit of a break, a little reset into the quarter.
Yes.
So just something that we love to do, which is a little bit of what we're going to talk about today, is a little bit of making time for a break so you can have a reset. There's important things to reset in your day and be calculated throughout your day, but also throughout the year, being calculated and really forecasting already, even into 2024, dare I say, the breaks that you're going to take that year. So having the longer breaks, taking that time, it's a different mentality of, well, I can't afford to go anywhere. Well, you can't afford not to either, is more of the mentality that we like to have and what we want everybody else to have, and how that pertains to health and effectiveness, efficiency, home life. It's just so important. It's not that you can't say I can't afford to. It's I can't afford not to.
Right.
Is a little bit what we need to start thinking of. So yeah, just really my favorite time of a new year, the spring transition.
We love the spring transition. We take a spring break, like you said, in the office, as an office, because we know the importance of a break. There's a level of not being able to disconnect in society today in general. So disconnecting from work, disconnecting from just kind of not reality, but allowing yourself to disconnect as opposed to constantly being there, constantly being on your phone, checking your emails, doing all of that, allowing yourself to get away from there so that you can refill your bucket. Because a lot of times when you don't allow yourself to take a break, you get so far depleted that you really can't do anything else. You can't succeed in home life. You can't succeed in your business life. You can't succeed anywhere unless you allow yourself to really reset, refill, and keep going. And that's why we love taking breaks.
Well, yeah, it's like how many days? No. How many minutes of every day do we commit to not ourselves, not our spouse, not our kids, not our family as a whole? How many minutes of the day or of the week do we spend so invested or relied upon by something other than what really matters most?
Right.
So, yes, you have to make a living. Yes, there's things that have to happen. So one of the things that has to happen, and why, again, I love this time of year, is because we've already calculated, we've already plugged into our calendar spring break.
Yes.
So a lot of our clients, we have a lot of retention. We have a lot of longevity with our clients here. This is not their first rodeo. Some people, I was looking at the calendar, some people next week when we go on spring break, this will be their 6th spring break with us.
I love that. That's so awesome.
And where are you going this year? Or what are you doing? Or because sometimes we don't go anywhere, but we spend very intentional time, or we get caught up on projects. And it's not, we don't use it as a time for work. Like, we create projects that we want to do. It's not that, okay, on spring break we'll get this done. It's not a task or a chore. It's, we'll pick something to do. And I do have to work on the race car. That's never a chore, so that'll be fun.
I knew that was coming.
But it's so true. Whatever it is for you, like, yes, I'm very open. People are sick of hearing me talk about the race car by now.
I don't think anybody's sick of hearing you talk about the race car.
But that's my thing. It could be getting the lake house ready. Like, that should be fun. Like, those are, everybody has a thing. Take some time every quarter at least and invest in what you love to do, because how it sets you up for the people that you're around every day, when you come back, and the people that are relying on you, the places that you are spending the most time, whether it's, mostly probably work, you're able to show up as a better you because you had that time to disconnect, so to speak, and really reset and refill your bucket.
Yep. And like you said, it doesn't have to be that you actually go somewhere. Now, we personally love getaways. But if you're the type of human that just needs to disconnect, you can take a quiet week or weekend at home. That's okay, as long as you actually allow yourself to fully detach, which is why we don't choose to do it that route a lot of times, because we don't know how to disconnect.
Yes.
If we're here, we're here.
Yes.
And that can be a problem for us. So if you're one of those humans that absolutely can allow yourself to disconnect fully, then taking a weekend at home is not a bad idea. You can still go out, do things, as long as you allow your brain to remove part from your brain, just set it on the side.
I'll tell you what,
enjoy life.
If some of you parents, I think some of you parents need to probably hear a little bit of this. If some of y'all were real good, don't let the secret out, but if some of you parents were real good, you'd kind of chum up with some other parents, and then all of a sudden you would send your kids with other kids on their spring break together, and you and your spouse could go somewhere else on your own. If you were real good, you might want to consider that.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Or some of you parents would flip-flop certain holidays, and you can have intentional time with your spouse. That's what I love. No, we love having time with the kids.
Yes.
This is a time for us to, spend intentional time with our kids. However, don't sleep on the idea of I'm just going to say it, passing your kids off to somebody else so they can go hang with their friends, so you can have intentional time with your spouse. It's okay.
It's completely okay. They can do this.
Very, 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 very important time to disconnect. So our spring break, not really going to release what we're doing on our spring break. I'm not sure we really even know what we're doing on our spring break.
I know what we're doing on our spring break.
Okay, news to me. So I don't need to know. I'm going to need to know basis.
In a wedding.
Oh, yeah. See? I want a need to know basis, and I need to know that. Thank you.
Yes, you do.
So again, time with friends. Super, super excited to travel. Time with friends. It's great.
And then for those that don't get those spring breaks or those big breaks or even weekend breaks, like you had talked about, spending that intentional time and mini breaks within the week, within the day for yourself. Those 15-minute little resets. Those are super important too, and not only for adults but also for athletes.
Yes.
And students alike. Everyone needs to really learn how to do a reset.
Yes. And here's the thing. I'm going to probably shift this into something maybe we didn't even know this was going here.
I'm okay with that.
But obviously passionate about family care and family dynamic and also athletes. One thing I want all of us to think about, especially as we go into summer and breaks, not only spring break, but breaking this up in quarters, because then we also take a break over 4th of July.
We do.
Strategically.
Summer.
Yeah. I mean, every quarter we're taking a break. So think of this as we go into summer and these kids start playing, 1 sport, 2 sport, 3 sports. They go full tilt. And what we need to remember is they need breaks too.
Yes.
The grind, there's no glory in the grind.
Right.
There's not. And to literally grind these kids into the ground mentally, physically, on a reverse aspect, socially,
emotionally,
really, if you're a coach going through a schedule right now, or if you're a parent going through a schedule right now, and there is time off, stand your ground on some of these times off. They don't need to play 3 weeks of games every week.
Right.
And they need time off, and the families need time off. I was that athlete. You were that dancer.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we know what it's like. We've lived that, and what we know now and what we've lived to tell about and what we hope starts to really be taken advantage of is there's no coddling. I'm not asking you to coddle these
right.
kids. But what I'm asking is to keep in mind the dynamic of rest is not the opposite of work.
Right.
And if you don't have a tournament schedule on the 4th of July, good, don't.
Right.
Take the time off. Give these kids, give these athletes, give yourself permission to have the time off, because it is so essential that you do that. Mm-hmm. Some of these long holidays. Now, a lot of times, I remember a Memorial Day tournament that we would play.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and it became like the whole team going on vacation together.
Right.
If it is a task, but those are also good times. So if it feels like a task to do a tournament on that weekend, then don't do it.
Right.
Take the long weekend. But that's a great weekend to have off if you're an athlete, if you're a coach, if you're a go-getter over the summer where it's go, grind. Father's Day, Mother's Day, another great weekend. Mm-hmm. So just be aware of some of the times where you can fit in a break for your family and especially your student athletes.
Yeah. Because
you will get more return on that time for a break and interaction with their family and the ones that they're closest with, and a little bit of a step back. I'm not saying that they shouldn't lift, work out, do some of the things, stay on top of their stuff. Mm-hmm. However, that's such a great time for them to disconnect and take a breath for a second and then get back after it.
Right, because talking within that realm, if student athletes, if humans don't get that time, burnout comes real quick.
Yes.
And we see that a lot in kids nowadays, where these really, really talented athletes, their bodies are hurting, they're mentally fatigued, they start not having success in school because of their athletic burnout that they're experiencing, because all that they do is practice, game, and they don't allow their bodies to be able to reset, get ready appropriately either, and then recover quickly after all of that. If you don't take care of yourself, if you're not able to have that reset, if you're not taking care of yourself during it while you're trying to have that reset, it's a big deal.
And you parents, it's like really be in tune with yourselves as well, with how edgy are you? Mm-hmm. How burnt out are you? Mm-hmm. How much lack is your family getting because you are just wore the beep out?
Wow, I don't think I've ever heard you beep.
I know. It was hard, but I did it. Here we are. Maybe not so good on the next one. But how wore out are you? Like, how edgy are you? What's your temperament? Like, be honest with yourself, but also maybe lovingly tell your spouse, like, look, hon, you've been really edgy. And kind of be honest, but let that kind of be a gauge too, because parent burnout can happen too. Like, you guys are running all over the place. You're taking care of these kids. You're feeding them. You're eating out. You're spending more money, and then you're throwing food away at home because you're spending more money eating out because it's easier, it's faster. Then you're feel guilty that you spent money, you spent time, you're throwing away growth. Like, I get it. Mm-hmm. There's a break that needs to happen.
Yep.
So just be very, very cognizant of that. Even in our schedule, what's great this year, and they did it last year too. Yes, we race. That's what we do. That's what our family does. The kids are getting ready to do more sports. They want to start racing. But even the race schedules locally, and this is how it directly affects us. Tammy and Kevin Gundaker have done a great job of being cognizant of the schedule.
Yes.
The Memorial Days, the Labor Days, 4th of July, and being very strategic that there's always somewhere to race. There's always a baseball tournament to get into. There's always a soccer tournament to schedule. There's always lacrosse. There's always a dance competition. You can always fill the weekend, but it's kind of cool to see in our immediate circle how we're not the only ones thinking this way.
Right.
And that there's a strategic break in our schedule, too, with what we love to do to allow us. Now, what will we do? Chances are, especially if there's a motorhome in our future, chances are we will take the race weekend off and maybe we'll go camp at a race. Right. And we do things with family. We take a break. We still do what we love. The 4th of July is great for us. That's when we take our next break. Yes. So we're in, either Florida or we're on the beach somewhere for a week with the entire family. So it's just, we're not the only ones thinking this, but we want everybody else, because it's so easy to get caught up in the grind and go, do, be the best. And it's just, take a step back, take a break.
Well, and we also get caught up in what does my monthly calendar look like? And then if we're not doing something, well, why aren't we?
Yeah.
Why isn't there anything on the calendar? There should be something on the calendar that day. I know I have something. I know there's something.
That's
and
so good.
It's okay for there not to be something.
I got to figure out something to put there if there's not.
Exactly. I have to figure out something. Like, we're going to the zoo that day because there's nothing else to do. But in that nothing else to do, that is a great time to utilize that nothing else to do day as a reset day. Yeah. I do not function without a reset day. And we had that like 2 weeks ago where I had something Monday through Saturday and on Sunday. And Sunday is the Sabbath, but it's also my reset day. I love church. I go to church. But then after that, we are laundry, clean the house, get ready, have time with the kids. And if I don't get that, my entire next week is screwed.
It's not her laundry day. It's her PJ day. Don't let her lie to you.
Hey.
It's her PJ. Her and my oldest son, who happen to be twins. Mommy, I think we need a PJ day today. Leighton and I look at each other and we're like, you guys are jokesters. And Cammie just doesn't care.
Let's go.
Yeah. So
Cammie doesn't get a chance to have an opinion yet. Yeah. She's just staying in her PJs with us.
She is the opinion. She is the opinion.
So stinking sweet. I love her.
So yeah, it's definitely use the time that you have. Don't always feel like you have to fill the gap.
Right.
For sure.
The gaps are good sometimes, for surely.
Right. So let this, as we do transition seasons, and we do have more light in the day, and we're getting ready to end quarter one of the year, whether you're a business person or a family person, it still works in quarters. Let that be a line in the sand. And if you haven't done some of this is a great time to reevaluate that. So hopefully those of you that are going on to spring break in these next couple weeks, you have somewhere to go, or you're strategically doing something to kind of disconnect.
Yes.
And, leave the rest of the world behind and be intentional with your time. And if you haven't done that, take some time going into quarter two to, forecast your quarter two and where those breaks are going to be. Yeah. Long weekends, long trips, a couple days here and there. Schedule your breaks, because it shouldn't just be, we do spring break and school starts here and we get Christmas break. Feel free to add a little more into that. Don't get caught up into the status quo. Because, if anybody knows us by now, we are not status quo.
We ignore
there is nothing about us personally or in our circle or our brand or what we do that is status quo.
Right.
So don't be afraid to add in what it is you want it to look like.
Right.
So take the breaks. Do something new, do something exciting, take people with you, force other people to take breaks, make it contagious, make it very, very contagious. Let's make taking breaks go viral. Let's make taking breaks be viral.
I like it.
What did you come down with? I came with the virus, down with the virus of taking breaks.
That'll be the new thing.
Yeah, that'll be the new thing. Let that be the new thing. Taking breaks. Very, very, very important. Speaking of taking breaks, dance. You get a break from dance here shortly. Do. St. Dominic dance team. There's a lot of other cool things in your space that I'm glad you get to take a break from before it really ramps up. Same here. I'm excited to take a break before everything really starts to ramp up again too.
Yes. I love the concept. Well, we're talking about breaks. I love the concept of breaks because it's important for a coach to be able to get away from their team. It's important for the team to be able to get away from their coach. It's important for the team to be able to get away from their teammates. Somebody said once that too
Confucius
much of
say.
What is it? The saying? Goodness gracious, I'm word locked now. The saying of too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. Have you ever heard
Sounds
that?
right. I love the conviction.
It's something like that, okay?
It's kind of like beer. It's really good, but too much of it.
Like that was gonna come out of your mouth. Dang it! I was gonna have like a moment, but it's fine. So sometimes, especially in girls,
I make her nervous.
especially in girls, we get nervous. No, but sometimes too much time with somebody or something is bad for you mentally too. The drama, the
toxic.
Yes, gosh, that is such a great word for it. It can turn into toxic. It can start out beautifully, and it can end up being toxic if you don't allow yourself to walk away for a day, 15-minute, whatever that walk away might be, to allow yourself to come back into it rejuvenated, ready to go, and again, ready to serve those people, those humans, because God love them. I love every single one of them. But I mean, I need a break, just like sometimes I need a 15-minute break from my own kids. I'll lock myself in my room. I'm that mom that you find on TikTok that's in their closet eating the Twizzler bag. Sometimes you need those.
I'm gonna take a picture next time.
Sometimes I need those 15-minute breaks where I can disconnect so that I can respond to them appropriately too. Because if I don't, I'm just gonna yell, and that's not gonna help them any, because they don't understand why mommy's getting upset at them for asking me the 6th question in a minute. But I mean, that's the pull and give of your mental capacity. And if you don't allow yourself to break from whatever that might be, that mental state will 100% get toxic for you.
So with that, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, of give yourself permission.
Yep.
That's probably the biggest thing, even myself, because no matter where I'm at, it's like I could be doing something else for something else. And that's toxic in itself. So give yourself permission to do that. Give yourself permission to shut down the email for a couple days.
Right.
Give yourself permission to take a break. Rest is not the opposite of work, was something that was said to me a long time ago that really, really hit, and I still have to work on to this day.
Right.
But give me an honest shot at scheduling some of these breaks in your Q2 and going forward in the rest of the year. And give me an honest shot at giving yourself permission. If you need to hear it from me, you now have permission to take breaks going through the rest of the year, Q2, Q3, and Q4. So there you go. You now have permission, and let yourself be and schedule that out. Don't just wing it.
Right.
You can wing it to an extent. I just let you off the hook a little bit. You can wing it to it, but schedule it to, know what you're going to do. Like we might schedule that camping trip, or we're not racing this weekend, but we're going to go up to Farmer City, Fairbury. We're going to go to Eldora.
Right.
And when are we leaving? I don't know. We might leave the night before. So know what you're doing. Give yourself permission to do that. Take the long weekends. Do not look at it like a task. It's like, oh man, I forgot we scheduled this weekend, and man, I wish we were just staying. Toxic.
Yep.
Very toxic. Give yourself permission to go enjoy, save the extra couple $100 now it's going to take you to have that long weekend wherever it is, no matter what you're doing, and go do it. Schedule it now. Give yourself permission.
Right. I love that.
So good. Now I want to take a break.
Well, good news. You get one not this week, but next week.
Who knows? Other than that, we have some exciting stuff planned for the rest of the year, and pretty immediately. This has been a true blessing. I want to thank all of the people we've had just in these past couple weeks. I've been able to speak to a couple teams.
Yes.
I've spoken to a softball team. I've spoken to more coaches and ATs at Lindenwood, which is super exciting. I talked to the Lionettes. We had them in our office. The
entire Lionettes dance team.
Find our social media and make sure that you look and check out some of those pictures. Vital Performance HW on Instagram. We have Vital Performance Cottleville on Facebook. And there's still the Vital Performance page that's on Facebook. We have 2, in case you were wondering. That's not a scam page. One got canceled, so we can still post on it. But they're trying to greenwash us, or whatever they want to call it. Shadow ban us. Is that what it is?
Shadow ban.
So guess what? We just started.
Yeah, we're not greenwashed. Everybody else is.
But some of that is on there, so keep up with that. And we've, starting to expand our team a little bit.
Yeah.
We've got some great goals that literally just happened on Thursday. So just very, very excited and grateful for the shift and going into a break to be able to really analyze and get super clear on what we're going to do the rest of the year. There's just so much exciting stuff. There's space next to us that needs to be occupied, so we'd love to do that.
Oops.
And so just a lot of great things coming personally and professionally within the Vital Performance family.
Yes.
Spring football is coming. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Love to keep up with that.
Super fun.
Just so much good coming. I love it.
I love it too. Well, this is great.
Take a break.
Enjoy life.
We're going to, right here, right now. This edition of the Vital Wire is closed. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Whenever your spring break is, enjoy it. Allow yourself to be present. Schedule your breaks for the rest of the year. See ya.